Yo, what's going on, guys? Clutch back again with another video for you guys, and today it is going to be another tactics video. Before we do get into it, if you haven't already, please smash that like button. We are trying to reach 50 likes on this video, so if you can, it'll be much appreciated. If you do have any questions or just want to interact with me, head down to the comments and also smash that sub button as well. We are trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2024, so any of you guys who do smash that sub button, it would be much appreciated. Also as well, if you do want to watch me play weekend league games live, I am going to be streaming my weekend league games every single weekend. I play 4 to 5 full weekend league runs every weekend, so again, make sure you sub to the YouTube for that. I'll be live on YouTube every weekend streaming weekend league games. And also, if you do want your weekend league games played during team of the year, again, visit improveyourrank.co.uk down in the description and use code clutch to get 10% off. You can get me or Jamboo or one of our pros to play your games for you and get you those rank 1 rewards, especially with the new rewards where we could be getting guaranteed team of the year picks. It is definitely worth doing. So the formation we are going to be doing today is the 4-4-2. The 4-4-2 is again one of my most favourite formations on the game. It is one of the absolute core fundamentals on the game as well. Football in general really has kind of been built around the 4-4-2. That was kind of the core of it, and it's just so good on this. I really do enjoy it. The two strikers with the wide options, it works very well. So we do have our defensive style on balanced. Press tactics don't work. For me, I don't like press tactics. The only one I'll use is constant pressure, and that's if I'm trying to win, like from maybe being 2 or 3 goals down and I'm not too bothered about defending. But for me, press after possession loss, pressure on heavy touch, it just doesn't really work for me personally. Don't really enjoy using it. So for me, balanced style just works the best. Now, the width is on 45. Again, not too far off of the base of 50. We try not to mess around with our tactics too much because we don't want to overcomplicate things and confuse our players. But we do have our width on 45 just to ever so slightly bring those fullbacks a bit more central. This is basically just to try and make sure we don't concede as many through balls in those areas. I find the gap between the fullback and the centre-back can be one of the most deadly in terms of conceding goals. Now, the depth is on 50. Again, it is up to you what you want to use. If you want to use 45 or 50, there isn't a huge difference. But obviously, with now 71 depth being gone, we are not using that, which is a massive relief. I can finally give you guys some different content outside of just 71 depth. So again, 50 depth for me. Now, build-up play is on balanced as well. I just don't really see much value in actually using some of the other build-up play tactics. Obviously, slow build-up just isn't very good in general. Long ball is good if you're trying to play a solely counter-attacking long ball style of play. But for me, that's just not how I like to play FIFA. And fast build-up just doesn't work with the 4-4-2. 4-4-2 is so built around structure, 2 banks of 4, being defensively sound and hitting people on counter-attacks, really building up the play well and just kind of utilising those wide options. And for me, fast build-up, it's almost the complete opposite. It is just flying up the pitch as quick as you can, not organised, very scattered, doesn't work for me. Now, I am using direct passing. Direct passing is the GOAT of FC24, and it's been the GOAT of FIFA for a while. If you're not aware what direct passing does, basically it makes your players make better in behind runs. The players that are affected by this are players that basically have better attacking positioning, sprint speed and acceleration. And they do just basically make better in behind runs for you, which obviously is the key on FC24. We all know how good through balls are and how hard they can be to defend. And obviously using a tactic to utilise that to the best of your abilities is an absolute no-brainer. And now, our width is on 40. Now, this is because I do like to have my wingers cut inside. Now, a lot of people may look at this and think that's too narrow and it defeats the point of the 4-4-2, but in my opinion, it doesn't. Your players will start out wide, but as they make their attacking runs or as they kind of move up the pitch, they'll drop into a more central role. They'll be better in terms of link up, get better goal scoring opportunities as well. I just think they just play a lot better when they are on cut inside, and also having them on 40 width does just basically give us like that base start that we just need. We don't want them hugging the wings and being way too far away and not being able to build up play and things like that. Now, Our players in the box is on 6. You could go with 7 if you wanted to be a bit more aggressive, but for me personally, I like to go with 6 basically. What it does basically, players in the box, some people don't know, it does basically, it's pretty much what it says on the tin, but it does basically make people make more runs into the box, especially when you run into those wider areas. And having 6 players in the box does just mean as well there are just more options for cutbacks and things like that. So yeah, players in the box is on 6. I do have my corners on 2 and free kicks on 1. Corners are on 2 because I, again, have a very good set-piece tactic. It's a pretty generic one. I think a lot of people know it. But if you do want to see it, let me know in the comments. And then I do have my free kicks on 1 as well. Again, just to really make sure we don't concede any counter-attacks. And that is the same for 2 as well. I hate conceding from set pieces. It's my absolute pet peeve. So this is how we do have the team laid out. Again, a very good team, a team I enjoy using a lot. And these are the instructions. So I do have both of my strikers on stay central, get in behind. If you basically don't use this, I don't know why you wouldn't. They're the absolute 2 meta instructions. They're the ones you have to be using. For me, I don't like using stay forward. Now this is mainly because I find there ends up being too much separation between the attackers and the midfielders. And I find that, especially for someone of like an average player like level, they'll struggle to build up through the lines because of that gap. So for me, I like to just have stay central, getting behind on, basically just to make sure they're in the central areas of the pitch and they're making as many good in behind through ball runs as possible to give our opponents as many headaches as possible. So, I do have both of my midfielders on stay but while attacking cover centre. For me, I personally don't like to commit my centre mids too far forward. I want them to be available and be there so I can maybe reset the play, pass back to them, move the ball in and around the outside of the box. But I very rarely like to attack with my midfielders. I find I end up over-committing and end up being way too vulnerable on a counter-attack if I have my centre mids bomb forward. So I do have simply both of them on stay back, cover centre. They're obviously on cover centre to just cover that centre area of the pitch. We've got fullbacks and the wide mids. We don't need any more defensive cover there. And then, so we do have our left mid here and our right mid. They are on the same instructions. They are both on come back on defence, cut inside, get in behind, get into the box for cross. So both are on come back on defence to make sure we are as strong defensively as possible. And basically, so when we are defending, we do get that 4-4-2, 2 banks of 4 that we do want when we are defending. Some people may look at that and think that means we won't get bodies committed forward, which is not, like, couldn't be further from the truth. They'll still absolutely bomb forward. It just means when we lose the ball, they'll help come back as well. We did just speak about cut inside on the tactics. Long story short, I just like to have them narrower because they're more included in build-up play and goal-scoring opportunities. We do have both of them on getting behind. This is again to make sure they are making those good in-behind runs behind those fullbacks. And as they cut inside, they'll make a lot of those really hard to defend runs between the fullbacks and the centre-backs. It just works very, very well for me personally. And then we do have both on getting to the box for cross as well. This does encourage them to make better in-behind runs as well. But it also is mostly there for basically cutbacks and back post crosses. We do want as many bodies as possible to eventually pick out those passes when we do reach those dangerous parts of the pitch. And then we do have both of our centre-backs simply on all default instructions. And then we do have both of our full-backs on stay but while attacking. Again, just to make sure we are as defensively strong as possible. So yeah, guys, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, again, please smash that like button. Hit sub if you do enjoy the video as well. We are trying to reach 10k subs. And if you do want to watch me playing weekend league games, I'm going to be doing 4 or 5 sets of weekend league a week. Stay around with the YouTube as well, because that's where I shall be streaming. Peace and love, guys. Appreciate you.